with another episode of the Main Street Randyland YouTube channel. Hooray! Now, it's a little different this time because I'm on location and I don't have a cameraman, so I'm kind of doing this myself. So you have to excuse me if it's not the same quality that we've been putting out, but this is really a special time, and I think you'll enjoy it. I wanted to share it with you. I'm standing here in an unusual location. I don't know what that is. What kind of walls are these? Wait. Is it prison? Cell block 3746? Is that my new number? My number's 23. It can't be 3746. This is outrageous. Well, the mood struck me. I had to move some of my trailers, so I moved some of the really old trailers that were hard to get to because they've been in storage for all these years. And you know, I'm getting older. I've been worried about them. I wanted to see, because they're time capsules of memories. So moving it into a unit where they can be stored a little bit, I can go through it, but they're coming out of these trailers, and I was so upset today. I was so upset. I opened the first trailer. Of course, I had to cut the locks off, but even if you had the keys, which I don't remember where they are from 38 years ago, they're rusted tight. But all the stuff, as soon as you opened the door, was ruined with water because the doors leak and all that stuff. And oh, I was so upset. What's the condition going to be like? And some of the debris down here at the bottom, the end of the trailer. I'm over here with a forklift. That's what's making all the noise. And I pulled out the first couple machines here. The ones that were on the very end had gotten water damage. They can be fixed, but it's going to be quite extensive. Then here's a couple showcases, and the glass broke. Glass broke here. Glass broke on the top. This is carpeting. Now this carpeting was from the old Kessel Brothers Fascination in Keensburg when I turned it into Randy's Fascination and I carpeted it. Originally it was a tile floor. Carpeting, I guess I must have had help to put that up there. It was on the edge of the glass, but eventually it broke the glass. And here's an old Skillo counter. I recognize it. That's from, excuse me, Call Me Joe Skillo, which my mom purchased. It was on the corner of Carr Avenue and Beachway in Keensburg, and she made it Mom Skillo, and that's a whole nother story. She didn't like running the Skillo there. It was totally different than what we were used to in Seaside, and a lot of problems. So after 1 year, we pulled that out, and that's where it became Action Arcade. Now, hiding over here, some walls. I recognize that paneling. That paneling I used when I was doing a tunnel entrance at the back of Fascination, at Randy's Fascination. And down here, some pieces of wood, probably from walls or whatever that had to come down along the way. So, along the way here, I pulled it out with some signs, and some things I was able to save and other things disintegrated. That's sheetrock that's falling apart there, and some wood. Not everything survives, but after I moved a couple machines that were in this area here, I'm starting to look back a little further, and here we have free Fascination party hour. It's like 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Remember, I used to put a hanging part to change times if necessary. Up here, oh, 5 in a row wins, and these are some bonus boards. I can see the cutout simulating a fascination board that looks like the top line. And I remember there were different lines simulated, but they would light up. And that's another one over there. These are some pinball heads disassembled. Going all the way back. I'm not sure if the bodies are in here or in another truck, but I'm going to have fun going through all this good stuff. But I had to do this video because it's such a special truck, coming from Randy's Fascination, which was the old Kessel Brothers Fascination, which was my first fascination. And these things have been in storage since 1983. This is 2022. We're talking 40 years. 40 years time capsule in a truck. That's unbelievable. And look at this condition. These pinball heads are as good as the day they went in. That one doesn't have a glass on it, looks like. Parts machine. The fascination sign is perfect. That looks like it's a fan, old style fan from the Kessel Brothers 50s. There's a box fan. That was Eastern Electric. We used to have those as prizes. As really thrilling as all this is so far, you won't believe what I'm going to show you next. You won't believe it. The fascination sign, the bonus board, pinball heads, Eastern Electric fan. What are they sitting on? Well, looks like wood, huh? Uh-oh, now it's starting to rain. You hear the rain? It's really pouring. This is a metal container, and it's just hitting the top and echoing. You know, God bless this trailer. It was old when I got it. 40 years. 40 years. Pouring rain. And it's not leaking. God bless us on this one. Well, I wanted to show you this wood under here, because I recognize it. Do you recognize it? It's not just wood, my friends. The light bulb on the top should be a giveaway. I'm going to back up a little bit. Do you know what they are? I know the suspense is killing you. $1938. Those are heads to the Bangos. The fascination game from Keensburg Amusement Park, the Kessel Brothers. Now, this original fascination game, the bodies were built in fours, but the heads were built in singles, and they strapped to the back. Later models, the heads were built in fours if the bodies were built in fours, but these are single heads. And I'm going to show you, I pulled one out. This is number 42. Read across the top. Bango. Now you'll notice the A is not exactly the same font as the B-N-G-O. And there's a reason for that. The lettering on the top here is not original to the game. This mirror, and that is a mirror, as you can see, it has a pinkish hue, as they did back in that day. The 4, the 2, 42 for table number, but they decided at some point they wanted to have a special, not just with the top line, which was gold, the bottom line, which was green. So they wanted to run a special like on this line on the end, that would be winning under the B, winning under the N. And originally when they put that on, it read Bingo, B-I-N-G-O. But in the state of New Jersey, in the 50s, I think it was around 58, they shut down all the places that gave cash, and Bingo obviously was one of them on the boardwalk, as were all the stands. And when they wrote the legislations, they said only Bingo for charity can give cash and nothing else can be acceptable like Bingo. So in order to get around the law that they had just written, they removed all the I's where it said Bingo, and they replaced it with an A, and they called it Bango. So that's why the A is a little bit different. The rest of them are probably from the 40s, could even be 30s, but I mean, it was made in 38, so it's probably 40s. And then in 58 or so, they changed the I to A, calling it Bango. Now, the Bangos had a very unusual sound to them because of the size of the units. They used a lot of current. There were no miniaturization. And they literally had a little bit of a bang to them. So the Bango really kind of fit. But this is really exciting because here's the first table. Uh-oh, look, there's a drip. Ah, we got a drip after all. Or maybe it's from my hat. The back of the head slides up, as you can see, to get inside the machine. But I'm not going to do that right now because there's a lot of dirt under here and I don't want to let the dirt in. I shouldn't have pulled it up that much because now I can't get it down right. Over here, this looks like, if I'm not mistaken, this looks like another type of fascination machine that was gutted and cannibalized and I picked up in the parts room. These are 4 heads. You can see how the mechanisms are built very, very differently here. Whereas the Bango heads have a sleek look to it and they're shorter. These heads are long with the wood from underneath here strapped down under the machine somehow. And there's nothing in them. I saved them, I guess, because of the nostalgia of what they were, but they're all gutted out. The only thing that's left is the one frame here with the boxes and the lights that must have been in it. But all these are fascination heads. Probably going back here, I'll find the rest of them. And clearly, the rolling parts are not in this truck. That's got to be in another truck because the game is massive in size. But a very exciting time. I wanted to show you that and share it with you here at the Main Street Randyland YouTube channel. So I'm going to say goodbye now, and I'm going to bring these babies in because they've been sitting here waiting for me for 40 years, like Rip Van Winkle. Isn't that fun? I'm really excited about this one. All right, bye-bye, guys.